How do you grow on Clubhouse? If you want to grow your following on Clubhouse, you are in the right place because today I'm breaking down tons of quick tactics so that you can grab a bigger following, be heard more, create more influence, and blow up your business. This is a must-watch episode. Let's get into it. So first off, if you're watching this video, you are definitely on the right track because Clubhouse is an incredibly powerful way of building know, like, and trust with fans. It's also an incredible way of collaborating and building your influence in the marketplace. So let's get into my first tip to growing on Clubhouse. Above all, top 100,000 foot overview, the best way to grow on Clubhouse is to have your voice heard. How can we get our voice heard more often on Clubhouse? So tip number 9 on how you can grow your Clubhouse is to participate. The best way to grow on Clubhouse is to be an active participant. And what I mean by that is that you're getting on stage and you're speaking as often as possible. I recommend joining smaller rooms, maybe less than 30 to 50 people when you're first starting out, so that you have more of a chance to stand out. You have a greater chance of being brought up on stage and you're gonna have more opportunities to speak. Rule of thumb in Clubhouse, the more you're able to speak, the faster you're gonna grow and the more people you're gonna meet. So get on stage. Tip number 8 is once you're on stage, well, what do? You need to be aggressive, but not interruptive. So when you're in a large room, what can often happen is there might be 8, 9, 10, maybe even more people on stage that are speaking. And if you're not aggressive at all, you might never get a chance to be heard. So you need to be aggressive enough where there's an opening and you have something interesting to contribute, you can hop in to the conversation. If you're just sitting back, you might have a hard time. Now, the flip side is that some rooms you need to wait until you're called upon. There's going to be an order. So the moderator or the host is going to be asking or addressing speakers when it's their turn to ask their question to an expert panel. So recognize what type of room you're in. Is this a Q&A panel where I'm waiting for my chance? Or is this an open forum where I need to be aggressive and get a chance to speak? Identify what type of room you're in and then be as aggressive or active as appropriate. Tip number 6, reciprocate value. Listen, reciprocation of value is what Clubhouse is all about. And this is kind of a hot term and it probably gets overused, but the more love you show other people, the more love you get back. If you hear someone on stage say something that's brilliant, make sure that you give them love. Make sure, wow, that's a really impressive thing. I really like what you said there. That makes a lot of sense to me. That reciprocation of value, that positivity you're sending out is going to come back. Another way that you can really reciprocate value is when you're invited on stage to speak in front of the moderators or in front of the panel, make sure that you commend the moderators on what a great job they're doing. Make sure that you remind the audience to follow the moderators. Listen, there's nothing moderators love more than a speaker that praises them. And what happens when you do this is you might be invited to be a moderator because your question is great and you were able to show them love. What also happens is they're going to remember you. Maybe you're not a moderator this time, but maybe they'll invite you next time. Maybe they'll follow you. Maybe they'll ask you to stick around on stage longer. So the longer you can be on stage asking questions and providing value, the better. Tip number 5, make sure that you're following relevant clubs and make sure you're following people that you love. If you're following me, for example, you're gonna know exactly when I start up a new room. If you're following Tony Robbins, when he starts a room, you'll be notified. And the magic of that is you can hop in there, be first in line, be the first to raise your hand, gives you a better chance of getting on stage and communicating with that person directly. Tip number 4 on how you can grow on Clubhouse is don't be afraid to jump around. Listen, once you're in a room, eventually it might become stale and you're gonna have a hard time at meeting new people, growing, giving relevant information if you're in a room that goes stale. Don't be afraid to hop around to another room. Now, what's cool about Clubhouse is if I'm in a room for an hour and I get bumped up the queue so I have higher visibility because I've been in that room longer, if I leave that room and I come back, I'll still retain my place in line. So let's say, for example, I'm top of the list, highly visible in a room, and I leave. When I come back, I'll still retain that visibility. I'll even retain my moderatorship if I was a moderator or a speaker. You'll retain your place in that room if you leave and come back. My third tip here is to make sure that you have a fantastic logo and a fantastic bio. Your logo and bio matter because in Clubhouse, when there's no texting, there's no images, every time where there is text and image, makes a huge difference. If you have a great, compelling image of your face with a great colored background and you really pop, people are more likely to tap your face. And when they tap your face, they are much more likely to read your bio hook, which is 3 lines. So make those lines count. If they tap that, then they get to see your entire bio. And if they're interested, they may either follow you there, they may start a conversation offline. So making sure that you have a great bio and a great logo is definitely a key to make sure you have a great Clubhouse experience and you're growing. Number 2 on how you can grow on Clubhouse is to moderate more rooms. The more often you're moderating rooms, the more followers you're going to get. There's some magic that happens as a moderator. You have automatic credibility because you've got a little stamp next to your name. You also have more opportunity to speak, which again is the key to growing on Clubhouse, but moderating more rooms is definitely gonna help you grow. Also, hosting rooms is a huge way of just developing relationships with more people and providing and reciprocating value to others. So host more rooms and moderate more rooms, and don't worry, you're gonna suck at first, but you're gonna get better, it's all good. My final tip here for you to grow on Clubhouse is to take the conversation offline. One of the things that I love to do when I'm on stage speaking or as a moderator or hosting a room is just remind everyone, listen, I might not be able to get to you or answer your question right here. DM me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to chat with you there. If I'm in a LinkedIn room, I say, listen, y'all, I want to talk to you. I might be able to talk to you here. Let's link up on LinkedIn. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Send me a direct video message. So these are some great ways that you can try to leverage Clubhouse to grow your other platforms. Again, nobody can text you within Clubhouse. So if you can have a call to action where you're asking them, hey, follow me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, DM me on LinkedIn, wherever, this is a really powerful way for you to get as much value out of Clubhouse as possible. The reality is we don't know exactly how big Clubhouse is going to be long term. So taking these conversations offline and growing your other platforms is huge right now on Clubhouse, so make sure that you're checking that out. Listen, I just gave you my top takeaways for how to grow on Clubhouse. What did I miss? What are you using to grow on Clubhouse? And I'll say, above all, the best thing that you want to do is be heard on Clubhouse. And listen, if you're not on Clubhouse, you need to be on Clubhouse because that is the only way you can be heard. You might say to me, Mark, but I don't have an iPhone, because right now in January of 2021, you need to have an iPhone. Go buy an old iPhone, go borrow an iPhone, go get an iPad. Don't miss out. Now is the time. It is hot. Get in on Clubhouse and make sure you follow me at Mark Savant. I will make sure that I bring you into the best rooms on Clubhouse. Listen, that's all I got for you today. Make it a good one. Make sure you smash like, and I'll catch you here next time here on Mark Savant Media. Peace.